Hello and welcome to Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, and let me explain to you why. There's a creation tool that's located within the Anchor app, which will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And then Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. That's also one of the perks of using Anchor. And then your podcast could be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place, which is in the Anchor app. So if you want to get started, and again, it's totally free, then download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Hello and welcome to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In today's segment, I would like to talk about a video that's going around on social media. And in this video, it's of a man and his ex-girlfriend and his daughter. Okay. I don't know why that people bring their business to social media. This is something I can never understand. Why you put your personal business on social media, because you're hurting not only yourself, but you're hurting your children. But this is what some people feel they want to do. But at the end, they're left looking like an ass, because if this sad video goes viral, then you've screwed up your family, because then you're going to have all types of people coming into your relationship, commenting on your relationship, your family relationship. I mean, it's ridiculous. So before I even start the story, I'm going to say this again. People, stop putting your business on social media. Okay? That's not what it was made for. At least not this type of business, not your personal business. It wasn't made for that. It's not made for you to tell the world about your marital problems or your relationship problems or problems that you might be having with your children. This is not what social media is for. So it would be wise for everyone to stop putting their problems on social media platforms. Okay. And in saying that, in this video, it was a man, and it was his daughter's mom. Apparently, I guess they had a couple kids together. But in the video, this man took his daughter to get her hair done by someone else. And the mother is saying in this video that she's the only one that does her daughter's hair. Okay. And he took her to someone and they did her hair. Now, here's the problem I feel the mother's having with that, which I really can't speak for her, but as a woman, I think I know the problem she's having. If the child, it seems like the child is in the home with the mother more than she is in the home with the father. So the mother basically takes care of the child's hair, but the father decided to go get her hair done at a salon, or I don't know if it was an ex-girlfriend's house or wherever he had it done at. And he brought the little girl back home. So the mother didn't like it. She got very upset, and she cut the hair back out, the little girl's hair out of her head. So I guess she got braids, and so the mother just started cutting the braids out. I don't know if she cut the child's hair. I don't know. I don't think any of us really will know if the child's hair was cut or if she cut the child's hair and the fake hair with it, the braid hair. But, you have different opinions. You have some people that feel like, okay, he shouldn't have let any other woman in this little girl's hair. Then you have a lot of people that say, well, he's the father. He has the right to do what he wants with the hair. And it was his right to take her to get her hair done somewhere else. Okay, now, as a woman, I'm going to say this much. Both of them had the child together, true enough. But if this man is not in the home with this child 24/7, like the mom is, then she might have a certain type of way of doing her daughter's hair, or using a certain type of product, or like it in a certain style. Usually men stick to doing their son's hair. They take their sons to the barbershop with them and let the mother handle the daughter's hair. Number one. Number two, we as people that's on social media that don't know the whole story, that's outside looking in, can only assume this or assume that, because none of us knows. And then I always tell everyone that I talk to, there's always three sides to every story. You have his side, her side, and the truth. So somewhere in there, the truth will be told. But when you have one parent that's putting a video out and showing the bad part of the other parent, trying to make that parent look bad, and putting yourself out there like you're just this great dad, is not fair. Because if it was that much hostility between the two of them, then it's not even about the daughter's hair. It's about their feelings they have toward each other. There's bitterness there. They don't like each other. And it sounds like all of this that happened had nothing really to do with the child's hair. I think it had something to do with boundaries, and it had something to do with respect levels, between the two. I think that she said she told this man that he was not allowed to touch her daughter's hair. Okay. As a man, you should respect the fact that that mother might have a certain routine of how or what she does with her daughter's hair. So if you take her daughter somewhere and someone does something to the daughter's hair and it messes it up in some kind of way, then she's going to be upset, okay? Because you can do certain things to a child's hair and you can mess it up. And I will tell you a story where I knew a guy that had children with these two women. He decided to let his girlfriend, the woman he lived with, do his other daughter's hair. She put a perm in the child's hair and it fell out, okay? First, number one, he shouldn't have never allowed this other woman to touch this lady's child's hair. Number two, you shouldn't have never put a perm in this little girl's hair. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that everyone is jumping on this bandwagon, making it seem like she's just this bad person, and no one knows the other half of the story. Of course, the video does not do her any justice. The video makes it seem like she's crazy. It makes it seem like she's bitter, okay? And that's the first thing that people try to always say anyway. Oh, that's just another bitter black woman. But she said, I told him that I'm the only person that is to get in my daughter's hair. She allowed him to take her daughter away from the house, but she told him not to touch her hair. And he did what he wanted to do, and he let someone else do her child's hair the way they wanted it to be. And if there's any woman out there, and I will always keep my segments 100% honest. And as a woman, and any other woman that's out there saying she's wrong, she shouldn't have done that, he's the father, he has rights, he could do this, he could do that, and all this and that, you're lying. You're lying. Because as a woman, if your child is in your home with you more than the child is in the father's home, usually fathers aren't trying to go out and mess with their daughter's hair. Now, if they have sons, that's something different. Take them to the barbershop with you. Bond together at the barbershop. But a daughter, her hair is her mother's responsibility, I think. Unless she's in the home with the father more than the mother, then of course the father is going to have, again, his routine of how he does his daughter's hair, or who he goes to, who he takes her to. And for all the women out there that's saying, well, okay, she didn't have any right to be mad because her father went and got her hair done, this, that, and other, and all this and that. That's not true. Because if she told him, I'm going to do her hair, I have a certain way I want to do her hair, and just don't touch her hair, then he probably should have left it alone, because she already knew what she was going to do with her daughter's hair. I think that whatever is going on between this mother and this father has nothing to do with hair. I think they split when they split on very bad terms. And then from what I've gathered, his new girlfriend has come in and she's been putting her 2 cents in it and saying things on social media. Once again, people, stop putting your life on social media. Okay? That's the first problem. This is the biggest problem we all have. We have gone so crazy over social media that we are okay putting our lives in front of everybody when certain things should stay behind closed doors. These two should have both handled this behind closed doors. She shouldn't have done what she did. I do not agree with how she cut that hair out of her daughter's hair, out of her head. I don't believe she shouldn't have done it. It was wrong. I mean, it was already done, so she might as well have just left it alone. No matter how angry she was about it, I think she should just left it alone and just made it clear to him again. When I say don't touch her hair, leave her hair alone. She's your daughter. Yes, you could take her where you want to take her, but leave her hair for me to do it. This is what I do with my daughter. You know, I take care of her hair because every one of us know if you start putting too many people in a person's hair, and I know that from experience myself. When you start letting all these different people do your hair, people are using different products and they're doing things differently. And then they start, your hair start falling out. They start drying it out. They start breaking it off. You have to get with one specific person that does your hair the right way and knows how to take care of your hair. And you stick with that person so that your hair won't end up damaged. Maybe this is what the mother was saying. But again, we can only assume. But when the father decided to go tape it and put it all out there for the world to see and make it seem like she's just this crazy mother and she's jealous of him and his relationships and his girlfriend getting on there saying, well, I didn't do it. Another woman did her hair. Okay, but here's the problem. Okay, so who is this woman that I don't know that's in my child's hair? Is basically what the mother was probably thinking. Who is this woman? I mean, she shouldn't have cut it out the child's hair. She shouldn't have, because the baby might be traumatized. I'm pretty sure she liked her little hair. Any little girls that get their hair done love their hair. They love it. When it's finished, they love their little hairstyle and they want to flaunt it around. So I'm sure the little girl was hurt. But for the father to tape it instead of being a grown-ass man the way he should have been, you shouldn't have turned your phone on and taped this dumb shit that he had going on with his ex and be taunting this woman and getting her even more upset when she was already upset from the beginning. That's what I'm saying. We're looking in it. We don't know what's going on. He purposely put this tape out to make her seem like she wasn't credible in anything that she was saying. And then him and his girlfriend is telling her this is the way it is and this and that. And your girlfriend shouldn't have even commented because it's not her daughter. It should have been a situation between you and your child's mother. And I don't think as people just being from on the outside looking in, none of us have the right. None of us have the right to even really comment on the situation saying who's a bad parent, who's a better parent, who should lose custody of this child. Because here's the problem. Let me tell you what you all are doing when you're judging. You always make sure that your house is in order. So everybody out there that's judging, is your house in order? Are you not having any problems? Are your households perfect? Is everything perfect with your ex-wife or your child's parent? Or your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, your ex-husband? Is your situations perfect is what I'm asking everyone out there. Because if you can't answer yes, if you don't ever argue about one thing since you've separated and you're that perfect, then please stand up and be judgmental if that's what you feel you want to do. Okay. But if you can't say that your situation is perfect between you and your other or your ex and your children, that situation, then sit your ass down and be quiet. Because I'm just sitting here looking at all these videos and listening to this and everybody's saying she should lose custody of her child and this and that. Everyone is so quick to snatch this little girl from her mother. But here's the problem I have with what they're saying. There's two sides to every story. Before you start saying that, look and see what's in his closet. Because what he did is he only put what's in her closet out there. He put her little maybe anger issues or a little bit of, she might be upset because of the bad breakup they had, whatever the case is. But this shit didn't just start. Whatever's going on with those two, it just did not start. So for him to just throw it on camera and make it seem like she's the bad person, get more up into the situation, since everyone wants to play detective and think that they know what's going on and how she's not worthy of this child and she shouldn't have custody. Go further up into the situation. Don't make it seem like it's just her. It takes two to tango. Okay, so, and if she's that angry, what has been going on before that? What has he not been doing? What has she not been doing? Is he up to par? If he's not living in the home, is he helping her take care of her daughter? Is he giving her money for her children when the children needs it? Is he buying the kids the things the kids need when they need it? Or is he telling her he can't do it, but then want to turn around and be daddy and try to do something that she just asked him not to do? They apparently didn't have boundaries. She said what she told him he couldn't do, but someone's not listening to boundaries. These two needed to sit down, set the boundaries out on the table. This is what you can and cannot do. This is where we're going to co-parent on this and that part. But the hair, no, leave the hair to me since it's a girl. Do our son's hair. Take him to the barber with you and do it that way. So if they didn't do it that way, then that's a problem. They didn't have enough respect for each other to co-parent and do things the right way. But when everyone starts saying, well, she shouldn't have her child, should you have yours? That's the question I'm asking everyone out there. Since you are so quick to judge this lady, should you have your children? Don't be quick to try to snatch anyone else's child out of their home because of a video, a one-sided video that you've seen. You don't know what is going on with the man. You haven't seen his part. You saw what he wanted to put on social media to make it seem like he was the number one dad, to make it seem like that he hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, getting her hair done is a good thing. That was nice of her father to do that, to get her hair done. But who did the little girl's hair? I think that's the main focus. Who did he allow to do the child's hair? Did he put someone in the child's hair that used products that she wanted in her child's hair? Did they press her child's hair? Did they perm her child's hair? I mean, how tight do they braid the child's hair? Because anyone knows if you braid the hair too tight, your edges are going to be gone. Your hair is going to be falling out. It's going to break off. It's all kinds of things that could have made this lady angry over her daughter's hair. And it's not a woman out there that can say that she would not be angry if you specifically told someone, the hair, leave my daughter's hair for me to do. I'm the only one that I allow in her hair. I have heard a ton of women say the same thing. No, I don't want anyone else in my child's hair. I do my own child's hair. I don't trust anyone else not to break her hair off, not to take it out, not to make it brittle, not to make it really dry. I've heard, I mean, as women, this is things that we as women say. I'm a grown-ass woman, and I can sit here and tell you, when I used to hop into one chair at the beauty salon and in another person's chair, they were just drying my hair out. And when I finally realized these people just don't know what they're doing, and I started taking care of my own hair again, once again, my hair is back long, the way it should have been, the way I went in there with it long. When you go in there in a certain way, you expect to come out with the same way, okay? But people don't know certain people don't know how to take care of hair. So that might be the situation. And again, I can only assume, but as a woman, I'm saying that might be the situation that is going on right here. She didn't know this person that did her daughter's hair. But all I'm telling people to do, instead of, throwing stones at this lady, get the other side. Ask her the question. Because anyone that's looking into the situation, unless you're stupid, anyone that's looking into this situation has got to see this doesn't have anything to do with the daughter. True, the daughter's hair got cut, but that's not where the anger is coming from. The anger is coming from something between this man and this woman. It's not really probably who really did the hair. It's with them being angry. at each other. They're angry at one another. And I think they probably do things to hurt each other. And that's what happened in this situation. He knew that she wouldn't want that done, and he did it. And he just happens to pull out his phone and start taping and taunting her. Look at her cutting my daughter's hair. I got her hair done, this, that, and the other. Come on now. Any real man would have been like, okay, I'm sorry. This is who did her hair. You could talk to her. She could tell you what was put in the child's hair. You know, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. If I just felt I wanted my daughter's hair done. I know that you're always the one that's doing her hair, but I thought I would just surprise her with a nice little hairdo. He could have done it that way. But when you pull your camera out and you purposely try to make it seem like you're this perfect guy and she's this beast or this bitter woman, then you got problems. And I will stand here and say that the truth always come out. You know, while he's trying to get everyone to jumping on the bandwagon, everybody's sitting here saying she's unfit. And what really shocked me the most is when Rickey Smiley came out and said that he would want to pay for an attorney for this man to take this woman's daughter from her. Are you serious? Do you feel that you have the right, just because you saw a one-sided video, Mr. Smiley? Come on now. Do you feel that you have the right, after seeing a one-sided video, to come in and say, I'll pay for this man an attorney so he can take custody of this child's, this woman's child? Do you have enough information on her? Do you even have enough information on this man to say that he's fit enough to even raise a child? You don't. All you know is what's on this video. And this is what I'm saying about people. You don't know. Stop putting your business out on social media. She shouldn't have clowned like that in public, number one. She should have held her peace and left the child's hair alone, number two. She should have told the guy, let's sit down. We need to talk about this, because didn't I tell you I'm the only one that's supposed to get in my daughter's hair? I have a certain way I do my daughter's hair. That's what she should have done. She should have set him down like that, instead of going and getting scissors and cutting the girl's hair back out on the sidewalk. But again, he purposely did this. He purposely pulled out, instead of being a man and telling her, okay, let's not argue. This is not a public thing. This is a private thing. Let's go indoors. Let's talk about this. Instead, he's taunting her and he's laughing and you're on recording. It's not cute. This is the same thing I say about parents that get on social media and hit on their kids, say stupid shit to their kids, degrade their children, degrade each other on social media. I think all of you people suck. Okay? And I have to be honest. All of you have poor judgment, and do any of you really need children? Because it's a time and place for everything. And damn it, social media is not it. It's not it. And people are always, we are all so quick to judge people that it's pathetic. And what I don't understand about Mr. Rickey Smiley is, answer this question for me. If you ever hear this segment of my podcast, there has been your celebrity friends in trouble about hitting their kids a certain way, calling them certain names, doing this, doing that. Did you ever stick your nose in their business and say, hey, maybe your significant other or your ex should go and take your child out the home and take away their rights? You don't need your child. No, you didn't. So who the hell do you think you are to come into some everyday person's home that's trying to raise their child, that might just be having some bad blood between the two parents that really don't have anything to do with the child, that they just need to sit down as two adults and figure out what's going on? What gives you the right to bring your ass in here and flaunt your money around, Mr. Rickey Smiley, and say what you're going to pay to have done? Because here's the problem I have with that. What if you do pay for this man's lawyer to try to take this lady's child? And then she gets put in the home with this man. And when the cameras aren't rolling and he's not as perfect as you might think he is, because you don't know his skeletons. You don't know what he's done because she's never pulled out a camera to record it. You don't know the things he says because she hasn't pulled out a camera to record it. So you only have a one-sided recording, but you feel from this one-sided recording that you feel that this woman should have her child snatched away from her. Rickey Smiley, you should be ashamed of yourself. And then while you're doing that, I hope that your home is up in par 100%. I watch some of your videos because I like you as a comedian. I watch your movies and everything. But I could say one time, I remember you put a video up of you and your grandson. And the first thing you told your grandson is, okay, we're on our way in this building. We're on our way into church. You see those switches on this tree? Let me get a switch off here. Because if you get in there and you show your ass or show your butt, then you're going to get a whooping with the switch. Now, okay. I didn't agree with that because to what I saw in this video was just your grandson walking getting ready to go into church as calm as ever. But yet you threatened him before you got in the church. And I looked at the video and I'm like, wow, okay. Maybe he knows something that we don't all know. Maybe the baby goes in there and clowns a little bit in the church, but you threatened him before he got in there. So people like me or any other person that might not agree with him being threatened at the moment, if he's not even doing anything, did we ever say, well, Rickey Smiley, if that parent should never allow him, his kids, his son or daughter or whoever the child belongs to should never allow him around their kids because he's beating them with switches? No. See, you wouldn't like that if someone said that about you. You wouldn't like that if they said that child should pull their child from you and not let you keep them because you're beating them with switches. And from what we saw in this video, he was just as cute and calm as can be. Yes, sir, is all he said. Okay, and went on to walk on. But yet you still threatened to beat his ass with the switch. But all we saw was a calm kid. See, this is what I'm saying. If your situation in your own home isn't 100%, then don't try to wreck someone else's. That's all I'm saying. And that comment was just way off. What you're doing, because you would feel really bad if you caused this woman to lose her child and she happens and they take that child from her and put him in that home with that man and God knows what he's doing. The only thing is we don't know what he's doing because it hasn't been caught on camera. She didn't think to record anything he's ever said or done where she's concerned or where the other kids or her daughter's concerned. But he wanted to put his half out there to make her out to be a bad person. Remember, Mr. Smiley, there's always three sides. His, hers, and the truth. Somewhere in there, the truth will come out. And I know that you would be butthurt if that child was taken out of that lady's home, put into the home with the father, and the father abused that child or did anything to the child that he shouldn't do, because then you would feel so bad because you put your nose in someone else's family business that you had no right sticking your nose into. And that's how I feel about it. I don't agree with what the mother did at all. I don't agree with her cutting her hair out. I feel she should have just let the child's hair stay the way it was. It was done. You know, the little girl liked it. Leave it be. Just wait until it's time to do it over again and then do it the way you want it done. Don't cut it out. So I can honestly say I didn't agree with the part about cutting the child's hair out. That was uncalled for and very unnecessary. But I don't agree with what everybody's doing when they're throwing stones and they're living in this glass house themselves. Okay, you cannot sit here and make it seem like you know what's going on in someone else's household, because you don't. And if you only have one side on a video, then you cannot. And we sit here every day. And we talk about, well, we saw, where's the other part of the video when we're seeing all these videos? Well, we're seeing one part. We're not seeing everything. Where's the rest of it? We're asking these questions when we see these videos on social media. We're asking the questions, where is the other side to the story? What is he doing? Because again, looking at it for the way we're looking at in it from the outside, looking at the situation from the outside, I think the problem isn't with the baby. She wasn't angry at the baby. She was angry at the father, meaning which she took it out on the baby and she shouldn't have. But that just shows you right there that they have a lot of bitterness between the two of them that they need to straighten out because it's coming off on the child. She's taking her problems out on the child. He's using this child as a pawn to try to make it seem like he's this good dad, and we don't know what he's doing. So until you can go in that house or someone can go in his house and make sure everything is perfect and that nothing is wrong and that he's living upright and that he hasn't done anything that he shouldn't be doing, then you don't have the right to interfere in these people's situation. This is something that they need to figure out on their own, and they need to set boundaries. I don't know how cutting a child's hair justifies losing your child permanently. I don't get it. That I would think that maybe someone she might need to speak to someone, a counselor or something, because there's anger there. And what did he do to her to make her angry? What did they do to each other to get so much bitterness in between the two of them? That's what everyone needs to see. What is going on has nothing to do with this poor baby. It's the mother and the father. It's these two grown-ass people that couldn't handle their own damn situation. The damn mother and the damn father. That's the problem. And the baby's stuck in the middle of all the bullshit. And then everybody else, all of us want to put our 2 cents in it and want to say who's right or who's wrong. People want to pay attorneys and use all of their millions that they have to go interfere in someone else's life, which is bullshit. That's ridiculous. Okay. We all saw the video. We all agreed that she should have never cut the hair out of the child's head. That was crazy. I had never seen nothing like it, but we agreed that was wrong. But when we go as far as to put ourselves in a situation where we feel that we can come in this home and say that this woman doesn't deserve her child is wrong. It's totally wrong. And everyone should be ashamed of themselves. I'm not agreeing with what she did, but I definitely don't agree that you're saying that this woman should lose her child, because I'm here to tell you right now, whoever this guy is, this child's father I'm pretty sure he has skeletons in his closet just the same way that she does. You don't know what he's done. You don't know how he really acts with this child. You don't know if he just had a moment to where, okay, I'll do something good for her just this one time, just to make this mother mad. We don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of bitterness there. If you want to do something, Mr. Ricky Smiley, you get together, you contact the mother, you contact the father, and you ask them, can I pay for you all to go to therapy? So you can get your parenting together so that you all will learn how to co-parent without anger and without all this other bullshit that's going on in your lives. If you want to do something and you want to do it the right way, you try to do that first before you assume that you have the right to sit here and say that this woman's child should be taken from her. Okay, if you're going to do something, do it the right way. You offer to take your millions of dollars, Mr. Ricky Smiley, and you pay for this woman and this man and this baby to go through therapy. Okay? Put them in therapy and see if what the therapist says, if the therapist that's qualified to diagnose what's going on in this situation, that's qualified, can say, okay, well, I don't think these two are able to co-parent. This person is shouldn't have the right to fully have anything to do with this child because there's these issues, the A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. But you're not a therapist, honey. Mr. Smiley, you are not a therapist. Hire the therapist. Since you want to give your services and pay for everything, hire this therapist to talk to the mother, the father's family, if you have to, the mother's family, some friends. You get the information that is needed. You have these people, you pay for all these people to go into this therapy session so that you can get to the bottom of this situation and see why it's so much anger there. before you start saying who deserves to lose their children. All right. I need to take a brief break and I will be right back. Hello and welcome back to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In this segment, I've been talking about a video regarding, it's a video out there of a mother cutting her daughter's hair. She got her hair braided and she was so angry at the father. She cut the braids out of the daughter's hair because he had someone that did the child's hair that she didn't know. And she went on to say that he knew that she was the only one that does her daughter's hair, that she doesn't allow anyone else in her daughter's hair. Okay, again, I will say this again to make sure that you all understand that here's my podcast that listens to this segment. I am not okay with what the mother did when she cut the child's hair out of her head, when she cut the fake hair out or the braided hair out. I don't know if she cut the baby's hair. No one out there, I'm sure we all saw the same video. We can't tell if she cut the baby's hair or just the fake hair. We don't know. All we know is she cut some of the hair out of that baby's hair, out of her head. Okay. We don't know if she actually ended up cutting any of the baby's hair. We don't know because we're just people looking in, watching the same video. And we really don't know that. So I'm not going to sit here and assume that I do because I don't know. But I will say this, as I stated before at the beginning of my podcast, I believe the mother should have left the child's hair alone. It looked fine. I know she was angry because she said he knew that she's the only one that does her daughter's hair. Personally, I would have left the hair alone and sat him down and told him, look, I handle my daughter's hair myself. There's certain products I use. I don't want anyone else in it. And I really don't want anyone in it that I don't know about. Every beauty salon isn't a good salon. And then if it's someone doing hair in their house, you really don't know if they're good. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Who knows what happened? We don't know. We're just people that's being nosy, that's looking at the whole situation, passing judgment, which I'm not. I refuse to pass judgment. I will say that what she did was wrong. And I will stand by what I said, that what she did was wrong. But I will also stand by what I said when I said he did this on purpose. I believe that he wanted to paint a picture of her being this angry, bitter black woman, as always. And I think that he didn't try to talk to her. He should have sat down and told the mother, okay, I apologize. I'm sorry. But her hair is done now. What should we do the next time? If you say that you only want yourself to be able to do her hair, that's fine. If you only want to be the only one to do my daughter's hair, then I'll leave you to it. As I stated before, most men, the way it goes, hey, honey, let me take my son to get his hair cut. We're going to the barber together, and they leave their daughter's hair alone. Now, why he decided to go touching this little girl's hair, who knows? Because most men just go to the barbershop and bond with their sons and leave the little girl's hair alone for the mother. But that's just, and anyone that says that that's not true is a damn lie. I don't want to hear unless that child is in the home more than with the father more than with the mother, that's when the father has more access to the little girl's hair. But if the little girl's in the home more with the mother, then we all know the mother is the one that's doing the child's hair. Okay. But as I stated before, instead of everyone getting ready to act like this woman should be stoned or killed or whatever the case may be because of what she did, I think that you all need to calm down. We don't know the whole story. We're all looking at the same video. Everyone has their own opinions of the video. My opinion is the mother should have allowed the little girl to keep her hair like that as long as, she wanted it to be that way after the ex had it done. And then when it was time to redo her hair again, just do it the way you want it done. I wouldn't have cut it out of my child's hair at all because that was not something you should have done because obviously the baby was upset. You shouldn't have done that. But you should have told him, look, let's handle it. We're going to do this. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk over some boundaries here. When it comes to my son's hair, you take him to the barber. When it comes to my daughter, as I stated to you before, I only do her hair. I don't want anyone else in her hair. So you can spend your time with her, take her wherever you want to take her. But when it comes to her hair, I want to be the only one to use whatever products I use in my daughter's hair, I just want to do her hair, and set those boundaries. Okay. And then he needs to be a man and understand that you don't just go throwing things on tape to make another person look bad, to make it seem like you're the number one dad, when I'm pretty sure at the end of all of this, when this video goes viral, if it hasn't already gone viral, at the end of it all, when they come and check your household, sir, I'm pretty sure they're going to find a lot of shit that's wrong. So you probably hurt yourself when you went and put this video out there, because you don't trust me. If the video goes viral, they're going to come to your household. They're going to be wondering what's going on with you. And that's when all your skeletons are going to start coming out the closet, and it might not be something you want done. Okay, so you got to be careful when you're taping those videos and putting people on blast like that, making it seem like they're all messed up and you're the good one, because karma's a bitch. You don't know what karma may do, might turn back around and have people start releasing videos and shit on your ass, and then see how you really are and see that you might not be so fit yourself. And that's how I feel about the whole situation. And then when you have celebrities coming into everyday people's lives and throwing their money around, trying to say that they're going to pay for an attorney to take this woman's child, instead of throwing your money, if you want to throw your money around, throw it around for good. Throw it around and come in and say, hey, ma'am, can I pay for therapy for you, for your ex, for the baby, for the other children if there's any involved, for any other family that might be involved in this situation, so all of you can sit down and get these boundaries so that you and this ex of yours can learn to co-parent this baby, because the baby didn't ask to be here. She's just stuck in the middle of it. Can I pay for this therapy to help you guys get your lives on track the way they need to be, so we can see what's really causing the anger? Because I'm here to say right now, it seems like the anger, it's nothing to do with this baby. The baby's just getting the butt end of the shit. The anger that this man and woman have for each other is something very personal. It seems to me like they had a very bad breakup, and what they do is try to hurt each other. Only difference is the woman's side got on tape and the father's didn't. Okay, so if Mr. Ricky Smiley want to do that, please, someone tell this man, if he wants to do something, don't sit here and say you're going to pay for an attorney to help this man take this woman's child. Say that you're going to pay for therapy so that the two of them as parents can get therapy help from a psychiatrist, and the child or children can get help from the psychiatrist, before you sit here and condemn this woman to death. Basically, you're condemning her. Instead of doing that, instead of condemning her, help her. If you want to throw around your money, you help her. You hire a shrink and you pay for it as long as they need it. Since you seem like you're so concerned, you should pay for a shrink for him, her, and their child, and anyone else involved in the situation, so that these people can get their household together, get their family together, and be able to co-parent the way that they should. And I think for everyone else out there that's passing judgment, make sure your home is right before you pass judgment on someone else's, because 9 times out of 10 it's not. No one that's watched this video can actually say your home is perfect. Okay, there's nobody perfect out there at all. It's just that you got to know that you have boundaries. Everyone has to give each other the respect that they deserve, so that they can talk through whatever situations that they come upon, so that it won't turn out the way this lady's did and this man's, because it's ridiculous. Okay. And that's all I wanted to say. It just angered me when I read all of these harsh things that people were saying about this lady. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, it's always two sides. I say 3 sides, because you have one side, the other side, and the truth. The truth is going to come out somewhere. Okay, so no one is thinking, okay, the baby really has nothing to do with this. This is just something that these people are dealing with. They hate each other is what it seems like. And they don't know how to co-parent. So the thing that's going on, they need to learn how to co-parent. They need to control their anger issues, and whatever caused their breakup, I think that they need to get to the bottom of that so that they are able to co-parent. And if everyone's talking, want to do something, you all set up a GoFundMe account and pay for these people a shrink. Pay for a family counseling for all of these people, instead of condemning one person and not knowing what's behind the door of the other person. Okay, that's all I have to say. Stop being hypocrites. Because if your homes are not perfect, then shut up and sit your asses down and stop condemning other people. That's all I have to say. That is it. And I don't care who does not like what I say. As I stated before at the beginning, I absolutely do not agree with what she did to that baby's hair, how she cut it out. I don't agree with that. That was bullshit and it was ridiculous. But I absolutely don't agree with how he handled the situation. As a man, he should have been more of a man and say, hey, okay, stop. Don't do that. Let's talk about it. I'm sorry. Let's talk about it. What do I need to do to make things better so that we are able to co-parent? That's what he should have done. But apparently was not the type of man that knew how to be a man when it called on him to be one. Okay, when the situation came for him to show how much of a man he was, he failed. Okay, but that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for joining me on Life as It Is today. This is Dora Middleton, and until next time, take care.